In the heart of London lies a place that you won't find on regular tourist maps. This is the Crossbones graveyard in Southwark, not too far from the glitz and the glamour of the West End. This is a historic burial ground, one for outcasts and located in an area that is known to be one of London's poorest and most violent slums. Dating back to medieval times, this mass graveyard is thought to be the burial ground for many women who sold sex locally and had neither money or reputation for a respected resting place. Today, the gates have become a shrine to the forgotten and the mistreated dead that are buried here. Many of these ribbons remember women who have been involved in prostitution and subsequently murdered. It is a place of history and a place of sober memory. Just 2 miles away, there is another grim reminder of London's past. Jack the Ripper has become a household name, someone almost celebrated, but the true story of his crimes lies with his victims. Women selling sex on the streets of the capital. Women who risked their lives despite knowing a serial killer was on the loose. The history books have created a legend of a man who murdered 5 of the East End's most vulnerable women. Why celebrate a serial killer when we could celebrate the strength of women just trying to survive at a time of great struggle? It's over 130 years since these horrific murders were committed, but the circumstances that led these women to this life are still all around us. Today, in the East End of London and across towns and cities in the UK, women are caught up in prostitution. For many women, it is a last resort as a result of insurmountable struggle. A question we're often asked is, if it's so bad, why doesn't she just leave? The truth is, it's just not that easy. Prostitution can be easy to get into, but hard to get out of. The obstacles facing women trying to leave the sex industry, debt, drug misuse, insecure housing, coercion, to name a few, can be immense and should not be underestimated by those who haven't experienced them. A combination of these can be crushing. Getting out, however, is a process and not a single event. It's an easier thing to say than to do. That's why Beyond the Streets works with women to support them on their journey. Why? Because we see the possibility of life beyond sexual exploitation, and we work to see women safe from coercion, exploitation, and violence. We see women's lives limited by the labels placed upon them: prostitute, sex worker, client, case. We work with her to write a different story. We see a woman, a daughter, a friend, a family member. We want to see women not defined by their past, but re-energised by their future. Our work maps out possibilities with her to join her on her journey for a better future. We think every woman deserves to be met with a compassionate response. We all have a part to play in this. This week, you'll find Beyond the Streets supporting women in the East End of London. You'll also find us working with women across the UK. You'll find our affiliated charities working in many towns and cities too. We will not stop. We want change. Will you join with us? Just imagine a world where women are free to thrive without coercion, violence, and exploitation. Just imagine if in 130 years it would be impossible for women to just fall into prostitution and that those in it could get out, where the barriers and labels that are around today just don't exist. Please stand with us today by giving and helping to challenge the status quo.